It's Jack and Adam from Cultaholic.com. No Tom at the minute, he's gone home, hasn't he, to be fair?
Lazy.
Very lazy.
See you, Tom, but that's not true. He's been here since 6 in the morning. He left at 5:30. God bless Tom Campbell.
He's been working incredibly hard, but don't worry, he's not here, but the news will remain because we're here to talk about it right now, and we've got some lovely stories coming up next. First of all, 2 WWE superstars have been suspended for wellness policy violations. WWE have released an Impact Network special. And finally, after last night's Raw, we run down the card so far for TLC. So first of all, it's been a while since we've had a report on a story like this. This is the first one I can remember for quite some time, but WWE have officially confirmed that they have suspended 2 superstars for failing the wellness policy test. There's no word yet on what substance they tested for, but the superstars in question are Robert Roode and Primo Cologne.
Not Primo.
Primo.
WWE TV's not going to be the same without Primo. I told you he was the bad one. I told you, Epico.
Yes, we
He's
love
the boy.
Epico. He is the
We
boy.
do.
But yes, both Robert Roode and Primo will be suspended for 30 days, which I think means that it's their first violation of the wellness policy.
Yeah, so the last time we saw Robert Roode was on SmackDown a few weeks ago, getting stretchered off.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that maybe, just maybe, because he also hasn't been doing house shows for a while. The last house show he wrestled, I think, was on the 30th or the 31st of last month.
Okay.
Which makes me think that maybe they knew ahead of time.
Maybe. Well, this does play into the whole story that myself and Tom reported on earlier today, which was the reason behind Ziggler and Roode being replaced by the Revival in that TLC match against the New Day. The match at TLC against the New Day, not, as far as I'm aware, a TLC match at TLC. Oh, it's confusing. It's really very straightforward. But at the time, in that video, we reported that the reason being banded about the internet was that basically WWE realised, you know what, Ziggler and Roode probably aren't right for a title shot at the minute because they're too involved with the Baron Corbin-Roman Reigns feud. They're kind of Corbin's minions at the moment. But this raises another possibility. Maybe this is the reason for the change. You never quite know. It could still, of course, be the original reason, and this is just coincidence as well, I suppose.
Yeah, I feel a bit bad for Dolph.
I feel bad for Dolph as well. Yeah, he's probably won tag titles before.
Yeah, I guess
Many
so.
times.
But he's had a rough time of it the last 10 years or so, I guess.
God bless him.
As for Primo, well, this contradicts a report that was circulating like a month ago where Savio Vega said that they'd left WWE.
Oh,
both of them were out the door. Both Epico and Primo were going to wrestle in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, of course.
For WWC. WWC, yeah.
Which their family runs,
yes,
effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit strange as well.
Isn't it weird that they're getting tested? Because as far as I know, they're not even on like the house show circuit. If they got them to pop in just to do a piss test?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't really understand quite what.
Maybe they're at TV tapings anyway, just in case. Just
Maybe.
like Mojo this week.
He was on Raw.
Yes, he's on Raw. He's got Sami Zayn in his corner now. Bright things ahead.
In other news, WWE have recently aired the one of the latest Table for 3 episode, which was called Impactful Reunion, featuring former Impact Wrestling stars Jeff Jarrett, AJ Styles, and Sting as well.
Nice.
Yeah, big collection of stars there.
Yep, this aired after Raw last night.
Yes.
And there's a trailer out now that you can watch if you can't be bothered to buy the network. And they talk about the 6-sided ring and how some of them like it and some of them don't like it.
Yeah, throughout Impact and /TNA history, there's been a lot of alternation between the 6-sided and the 4-sided ring. I think a lot of the fans, a lot of the Impact diehard fans were more a fan of the 6-sided ring. It made them different, made them seem indie and cool. It lent itself well to more X Division flippy matches when guys were just launching themselves in from all angles.
Did it though? Because what difference does it make?
There's more sides.
Yeah, there are more sides, so more things can happen at once, I guess.
More corners.
More corners, yeah, but there are plenty of corners. I've never seen like there not be enough corners. So Sting was talking about it. Sting said he hated it.
Yes,
literally.
he did.
I hated it. It changed the dynamic of everything. It's supposed to be good for some and not so good for others. Sorry, I suppose it's good for some and not so good for others. Styles liked it, and I guess he's part of the X Division as well.
It kind of fits the way those two guys wrestle, I suppose. Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Styles says, I grew to love it. I thought it made us so different from anything anybody else was seeing, and it was kind of like cage fighting.
Oh.
I've never heard that point raised before, but I get it. Maybe that does add a little bit of legitimacy, perhaps, in some fans' minds. Like they see something that's similar. Maybe they've watched UFC before or any MMA before.
Yeah.
I get that. And he says, I loved that look to the point where I heard we were going to lose it. I was mad.
He was mad. I remember Hulk Hogan coming out and cutting what was meant to be a babyface.
Yeah, he got booed
in the middle of the 4-sided ring, and the fans like, we want 6 sides, and he just decides to go off script and goes, 6 sides only got you so far. Obviously, everyone's like, boo, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, and then Hogan took them to heights that they'd never seen before. God bless you, Terry.
Now,
did you like it?
The 6-sided ring?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I think that it did give it something different. And when you tuned in and saw the six-sided ring, you were like, oh, immediately it's TNA or Impact. But I don't know, really. I don't know. In criticising it, Sting was actually echoing the sentiments of Christian. And maybe it's because both of those guys, I'm not suggesting that AJ Styles didn't have prior experience in a four-sided ring, but both Christian and Sting would have had way more experience over the years in a four-sided ring on TV. And it didn't really lend itself well to their styles. Speaking last year, Christian said that it actually hurt more to bump in the six-sided ring because it was closer together, I guess, maybe.
That makes
more
sense.
boards, maybe, or maybe just the way that it was arranged under the ring.
Yeah.
And he said that if you were bumping, especially not in the centre, like nearer the apron, which we know is the hardest part of the ring, apparently it really, really hurt more than usual. Yeah.
That makes sense. One point that I thought was interesting that Jarrett brought up is he was really struggling, or they were really struggling to get the toys in stores, but lots and lots of toy distributors or toy suppliers or whatever were keen on stocking the six-sided ring because it was so different.
Oh, that's
it's something you don't think about, so maybe that played into
it's
the
a
sort of
USP.
benefit.
It's a unique selling point.
And then they scrapped it.
They did, but maybe it's better for the wrestlers because it didn't hurt as much. And Finn Alamo. Let's run down. He loves it. Let's run down the card for TLC, which, can you believe it, is on Sunday.
That's right, Jack, I've got the TLC!
Don't you? So, he worked really hard today, I feel so bad.
Yeah, he's a wonderful guy.
He's so nice. Nicer than we are by far. The card for TLC has had a couple of additions from last night on Raw. So let's just run down the card. Obviously, this is always subject to change, especially with an extra episode of SmackDown there just beforehand. But
I believe Bray Wyatt's just been suspended for a wellness policy violation.
Bray Wyatt?
I'm joking.
Let's start with the Bray Wyatt match. He will be defending the Universal Championship against The Miz for the fate of everyone's children.
Yes, and it's Bray Wyatt, it's not The Fiend. I'm really interested by that. I love that.
Maybe the light won't be there as well because it's Bray.
I really hope so.
It is weird, isn't it?
It'd be nice to be able to watch a wrestling match.
I think what will happen is at some point Bray will go into the ring or something and then come back out as The Fiend and it'll be over pretty fast after that.
But that's fun as well.
Yeah,
I'm all for
it. Roman Reigns versus King Corbin in a TLC match.
Not a fan of that being a TLC match without something to grab, unless they grab like a dog collar or something. There's been rumours of a dog collar match, so maybe they'll integrate that into the match somehow.
Maybe. I feel as though, although I can't actually guess off the top of my head when, but I feel like we've seen them feud recently. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just because their feud went on for a while.
Sure, yeah.
I guess. The Women's Tag Team Championship match pitting the Kabuki Warriors against Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair as well, of course. That could be a really, really good match.
Should be, yeah. Tom was saying that he thinks it could main event. I'm not convinced on that. I think I'd rather see Bray and Miz main event this one, especially with Brock not being there, that being the big singles title.
Maybe. On the other
it's
hand,
the first ever though, isn't it? It's the first ever Women's TLC tag match.
Okay, and on the other hand as well, it's a TLC stipulation. Maybe it should main event.
Yeah, no, that's
fair.
And it makes the women's tag titles feel big if it's main eventing, which is something that they've needed since launch.
Yes, pretty much. I would just like to say, well done, the Kabuki Warriors. It's been a great reign, but they're not going to. Do you think they're going to win?
I think that we're going to see Charlotte and Becky fall out once again because I don't think there's enough depth in the women's singles division.
Yeah.
And I just think they're going to do Becky Charlotte once again because I think they're out of ideas until Ronda gets back.
I feel like they're going to have them win it. And then they'll have those tag titles, and then somewhere on the road to WrestleMania, they'll fall out and lose the belts, and then fight each other at WrestleMania.
They still don't feel like friends anyway. They've got so much history.
They don't like each other, and they don't like being in the tag division. Becky's made that very clear.
Main event!
Yeah, potentially. SmackDown Tag Team Championship match as well, pitting the New Day against the Revival.
Two great teams.
The reported original plan was obviously Rude and Ziggler, but now it's the Revival. Yeah,
that's going to be fun. They always deliver, don't they? I can't get that excited about it just because we've seen it a few times before.
Hopefully it should be given quite a lot of time. Hopefully should the next match as well, because I'm really looking forward to this one, but I don't think it will be given that much time. Certainly not as much as it maybe deserves. Aleister Black versus Buddy Murphy. They could well steal the show.
They really could. They're certainly both capable of it. Yeah. I think timing is the really important thing here. And I think I disagree. I'm hoping they're smart enough to know, famous last words because it's WWE, I'm hoping they're smart enough to know that the strength of both of those guys they're good at other things, but especially their in-ring work.
Yeah.
And if they're given 15 minutes to show off, I think they're going to have everybody invested, even without a title, even with not the biggest story heading into TLC. I still think it could be really terrific.
Yeah, I think so as well. And the last officially announced match so far is the one we've all been waiting for. Rusev versus Bobby Lashley in a tables match.
Because he got put through a table. Bobby Lashley got put through a table. This is a table, so he got slammed through that, so we know what a table is, so do a tables match.
I'm worried that sounds so silly. I was going to say, I'm really worried that Rusev's not going to win. So what? It's not real.
No, I'd like Rusev to win. People
like
are
him to
still
win.
chanting. Like, I didn't enjoy this week's Raw at all. I didn't think it was a very good show, and I especially didn't enjoy the segment involving Rusev, Lana, and Bobby Lashley. However, a couple of weeks ago, I was into it, and the crowd are still hot for Rusev. The Rusev Day chants are unrelenting, and it feels like maybe he's getting a bit of the energy behind him again. Maybe.
He said to Bobby Lashley, I'm sure, I want to challenge you at a future Rusev Day, which we know is every day. So why didn't Lashley choose, like, a more opportune time? Not TLC.
House show in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Have more time to train, prepare for Rusev and everything.
Yeah, there's one thing that Bobby Lashley's lacking, and that's training, isn't it? His cardio's
He's
pathetic.
looking rubbish. He's not
wimpy little bitch.
There we go. So that final match is Rusev versus Bobby. Wimpy little bitch, Lashley. Adam Pachiti's thoughts, not mine. Yeah, well, hopefully the show will be a good one. We will, of course, be providing reactions and graded and all the things that you're used to seeing here on Cultaholic.com. And I can't think of anything else to say.
No.
Lovely.
See ya.
Yeah. Thanks very much for watching, and let us know what you think in the comments section down below. You can follow Cultaholic on Twitter @Cultaholic and on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. If you enjoy what we do, then please do check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Cultaholic, where you can pledge. And don't forget, of course, most importantly of all, to hit subscribe and to join us.